Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, October 3rd. Happy new week. Happy new month, as far as this show is concerned, because we don't do this on Mondays. This is the Plant-Based Morning Show. We're presented by Complement. That is lovecompliment.com. Lots of vegan supplements. A vegan sweepstakes you can enter if you're quick. And we're not going to pull the rug. We're not going to do a Daiya and then just have a sweepstakes and then decide, send out an email that says, sorry, you were too late, you can't enter, but we'll just have your contact info now. We'll just mail you things. So anyway, I'm gonna add Doug in here. We'll see what he thinks about that as a marketer who's no stranger to scams and sweepstakes and things. We'll see what he thinks. Doug, how's it going?
Matt, good morning. Happy happy Tuesday.
Yes, happy Tuesday to you.
Have a good weekend.
Oops, hang on, I got some sound going on here. I messed up. I forgot to put my Instagram microphone in. So 1 second. Always some sort of tech issue, especially on the first day of a week. Yeah, I had a good weekend. It definitely officially feels like fall to me, even though it was plenty hot here this weekend. It's not really fall weather, except in the mornings, maybe. But we made an apple pie. I drank an Oktoberfest beer, and it just felt like fall. So I'm excited about that. I don't think I watched any football. Did not even watch the Travis Kelce thing. I think that was Sunday night. I said I was going to do that. I also didn't watch Golden Bachelor on Thursday night. I didn't do any of the show watching.
You're just like...
I know. I didn't do that.
I've been waiting to hear about Golden Bachelor all weekend. I wanted to know about Golden Bachelor.
I'm very curious. I wish I would have seen it. I'm going to have to see if I can catch... Can you get reruns of that kind of thing?
On Hulu, probably.
You can go... Okay. Well, I have that. I probably can get it. I might check that out. That seems like a good-natured show, like that dude, the DC Bachelor guy you had, Tony in DC.
Yeah, Tony P.
Yeah, I watched a couple of. I watched one of them and thought, man, this is really great. Doug's right. And then I watched the second, and I was like, this is so boring. I just can't keep watching this guy. but you know, nice change from what
the Beehive, man. I'm a member of the Beehive.
The Beehive, nice, good. All right, how about you? How about your weekend? How was it?
My weekend was lovely. It was very nice. My daughter turned 3. My youngest daughter turned 3.
That's right.
Had a little party for her, which was fun. Had some. We went as easy as possible this year and got just I guess bakery made vegan cupcakes from Whole Foods. And they were delicious. They were just perfectly wonderful. And we got a takeout, or not takeout. We got a catered taco bar for lunch food.
Oh, a little change of pace for the birthday then, huh?
Yeah, got to mix it up.
Was she just like, why are we having regular dinner on my birthday?
Yeah, why are you?
Why didn't we do something
special? The last 5 days in a row. No, she didn't really care about that part. She was much more concerned about the cupcakes than
right.
The taco bar was more for the adults. Although, I mean, the kids were going to town on it, but I think lunch in general was
beer served for the parents?
No, it was in a park that alcohol is not allowed in. Yep.
Okay.
But there would have been otherwise. And it was just a really nice, like you said, fall weekend.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. We have some good mornings here. Anne Marie's here. D1 to Know Adventure Coach says, happy to catch you guys live today. I always see D1 to Know chimes in sort of at the end of the show, maybe saying saying goodbye or something. So maybe, I don't know if it's a he or she or they or what, but I don't know if they typically just show up near the end. But anyway, always good to hear you chime in. D1 to Know Adventure Coach. Mr. Jeffrey says, good morning. He heard Golden Bachelor is just awful, and my mom agrees was a little goofy, too contrived.
Oh,
Shocker.
no.
Imagine that. Imagine it was too contrived. You can't believe that. Monica Gallegos says, good morning. Finally able to join live. I usually listen to the podcast. That's good. Hello, Monica. You get to hear it on the day it's made, not a day later, which is what I've been recently trying to do better about that. Mr. Jeffrey says a lesser man would have served beer in the park anyway. Definitely had done that. I mean, definitely had kids' birthday parties where I attended, maybe even hosted, and drank beer that wasn't really sanctioned by whatever the governing body was. And that's always nice. Now, if you have to do a kid's birthday party on a weekend, it's good if you can get a little.
Might as well have a brewski with it. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm a rule follower, Matt.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't do. I mean, town councilman, you couldn't be caught.
Yeah, I if
having
I got
beer in the public
caught with
town.
that would be huge,
Right.
huge controversy. Yeah,
Right. I would.
And then we have some comments over on Instagram. Hello to everybody who's there as well. Well, maybe just one comment. Wells Wonder Twin says happy birthday to my daughter. Thank you.
Okay, good. If you are on Instagram, you can join
D1 survived a meaty experience with no negative reactions.
Wow. Okay, that makes 2 of us then who have made it through.
The meaty carne asada. Texture was great. I enjoyed the taste.
Yeah.
All right.
That was the I thought better than the chicken one for me. But yeah, I mean, I actually thought it was delicious. I thought that was a lot like a real steak, which I couldn't believe. Good. Let's see, Doug. It is October. That's the month you promised us pull-ups on air. I'm not gonna let you forget that. I think you said you were injured. How's that going?
I took all last week off from doing any pull-ups, and I just did some, and they felt pretty good. So
okay, so there's hope.
There's hope. There's definitely hope. Keep shaming me till we do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'm in.
All right, good. So I mentioned the Daiya thing, and I know I saw your post in Slack, and then like 3 seconds later, Aaron texted me and said the Daiya thing was a scam or was it something. It's not actually a scam. I shouldn't call it that. Maybe it's unfair to assume it is. It certainly seemed a little bit not above board. I don't know. I didn't love the experience of receiving the email that said, hey, we only had 10,000 and you didn't get one. And everyone I know who entered didn't get one. And I shared it on this show. I shared it with friends in work. I shared it with Aaron. So I was embarrassed. Right now, I turned everyone onto this thing. Just takes your contact info and sends you nothing. Except they enter you in some kind of sweepstakes. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so, all right. So I think for those who didn't listen, why don't you give a real quick recap of what it is?
Yeah, Daiya, the vegan cheese company, now makes vegan pizzas. They're gluten-free crusts, and they're in the frozen section of the grocery store. I had a few, coincidentally, just before this thing came out, and they were fine. They weren't very good. They were like you'd expect from a fairly cheap grocery store pizza, cheap for what it is for a vegan specialty item. I think it was $5.99, and maybe the retail is $7.99. Anyway, they were having a contest. All you had to do was email them, and you'd get 2 free pizza coupons mailed to you, but you had to send your mailing address as well. And then they also give you 3 codes that you could give to your friends. And I assume that would allow them to bypass the emailing step and they could just go claim, probably still have to enter their mailing address to get the coupons. So it seemed like it was going to be some sort of, what do they call it? Oh, it was a pyramid scheme. That's the great irony here. They called it a pyramid scheme from the beginning, which I don't know if it was really a pyramid scheme, but it feels a little weird. So anyway, that's what happened. And then like a day later, everyone got an email. I guess 10,000 people didn't, or however many people did it and then duplicated their order. But a lot of people got emails saying you don't get this.
Yeah, I gotta say this really turned me off.
Yeah, Daiya. I know.
Because it wasn't just the email; you had to give them your like physical address,
right?
Which already felt weird to me. So
it took time to do that. It was just
you had to actually email them, not like fill out.
I was like, well, it's worth it. I'm getting free pizzas. This is worth me giving an address and taking the time to fill it out, taking the time to email them, and then it was basically email us all your information so that we can mail you. Please do that.
And I don't know. I mean, what did they expect that they wouldn't get 10,000 people? I mean,
right. That's the thing. That's what my problem with it is that that's so few people. It got on Veg News, and I'm sure they PR'd the heck out of it to get it all over that stuff.
Yeah, they redid their whole website for it.
Right. So if they would have gotten 10,000, surely that would have been a huge disappointment. So they were planning on lots of people entering, thinking they were getting free pizza, then not getting it. Mr. Jeffrey lives near the factory. If anyone wants to come over and protest.
Let's picket it. That'd
be good. Maybe I'll just boycott Daiya cheese in my house. Ban it from my house, as I have already done months ago.
Pretzels.
Yeah. The cheese was actually, I think, the first thing that I said. We're done having that in the house. It's no good. It's a bad product. We don't want it. So
there's been at least a few people, I think, who are taking photos and sharing themselves eating pretzels on the Discord, Matt.
Oh man. Well, yesterday, Ellery again complained. I think in theory we have pretzels in our house. I don't know where they are. I went to get some once. I actually wanted a few pretzels and I couldn't find any.
Oh.
I thought we had them in the house now. Yesterday she said, I don't have any healthy snacks. Everyone else has something at snack time. I don't have anything that's good. So I had her make me a Post-it note of snacks that she wants so that next time I go to the grocery store, because I've been big on the meal planning recently, I'm going to go there with snacks in mind, and I'm going to pick out some things that might not be exactly what she asked for, but there'll be nice compromises. Maybe a few will be what she asked for exactly. So anyway,
this sounds a lot like that am I the a-hole or not, where the kid was complaining to the dad about how he wants to eat meat at school or something like that. He wants snack food. No, it wasn't even meat. It was just like non-vegan snacks at school. And his mom was not happy about it, and the dad did it anyway or something.
Yeah, right. And then the kid outed the dad, threw him under the bus.
Pretty soon, Aaron might be sneaking some pretzels, God forbid, in the kid's backpack. Oh, jeez.
I've said it's okay. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it as long as it's not an everyday thing. That's what I just don't want. There we go. Didn't mean to do that. This sound machine is so messed up now. There's constantly an error message on it, so I'm clearing the error message and it makes this noise.
Is there a crime about to happen?
It's Law and Order.
Pretzels?
The Daiya thing was the crime. That was the real crime, and I think we were all victims.
Man, I think we should start everybody should be emailing them back saying we want our coupons.
Yeah, I did wonder, would there be a huge backlash? Do people care about this enough that they'd be really upset? Probably not. There's a lot of love within the vegan brands, and everybody just says, well, I don't know. Yeah, it was annoying. Anyway, let's get to our weather report so that this show isn't overly long. We got some good stuff. Good weather report and a quick article at the end. Quick but significant, I think. Yes. Little debate to have, and not too deep either. All right, here we go. We talked maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was Carnival Cruise Line who had added a full vegan menu to their cruises. Now, in response to surging demand, or maybe in response to Carnival doing it, Princess Cruises has introduced their own series of vegan menus. Apparently, you've got to just say so ahead of time and request this vegan thing. But if you do, here's what you get. And I assume there are 3 different options for each meal. So this means at least 3 days of your cruise, you can eat an entirely different meal, all courses. So the starters, they got black beans on toast with tomato and avocado, roasted pears with dried apricots and pistachios, Baja-style cauliflower tacos. I'm not going to read them all. They've got 3 salads that all sound good. Creamy white bean soup, chickpea noodle soup, roasted eggplant tomato soup, fettuccine with walnut sauce, penne with red pepper pesto, farfalle with summer squash, that's their pastas. And then for mains, stir-fried portobellos, plant-based shepherd's pie, and a walk-away ratatouille. So
walk-away ratatouille, yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Like where you walk away with it, like to-go ratatouille?
Right. Oh, maybe. I was thinking more like walk away from it. And I was like, well, that's an odd name that you'd call it that. Like, but, ratatouille, I don't know. I don't know who really wants that on a cruise. I guess it's okay. It sort of has like eggplant, maybe some zucchini. What's in ratatouille, Doug? Do you know? We've talked about this before on the show, I think, and we
whenever I hear ratatouille, I just think of the movie and the version that they make, which isn't that like right. Actual ratatouille.
Not the normal kind. Yeah. Although now if you Google ratatouille recipe, you see a bunch of pictures that look like the one they made on the show. Yeah, it just looks like stuff that I don't really think of as that being good. Chunky summer vegetable stew. Eggplant seems like the star of the show. Maybe some red bell pepper, zucchini, tomatoes, yellow squash.
I don't know. I'm happy that Princess Cruise is doing this, and not just a single, like you said, not just a single vegan menu, but having options to mix it up throughout the week. Princess Cruises is not any sort of like princess themed cruise, right? It's just like
not that I know of. I think they're like smaller ships too, right? Maybe.
Are they?
I don't know. I thought they were like, instead of 3,000 people, they were like 300. I'm probably wrong about that.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it's not Disney.
You're talking about the Europe ones, but like the
yeah, and I was associating Princess with that. Based on the prices, I don't think I'm correct about that because they seem way too cheap.
What are those called? Something medieval cruise. I don't know, but not medieval time. Anyway, Stephen Lund says he watched Ratatouille on over the weekend on Saturday. Good, but not Disney's best. It's been a while since I watched that movie.
Yeah, it's okay.
Good one with the girls.
It's a pretty good one. It's not great. My daughter was a Ratatouille costume. She was Remy for Halloween 2 years ago, and that was fun. So forever, I'll have a little soft spot for it because. Okay, on to the next. Ben & Jerry's has dropped a new flavor.
Viking Cruises.
Viking, that's right. That's right. Ben & Jerry's dropped a new flavor of ice cream for plant-based fans. They do those vegan flavors. They've got a new one that is caramel coffee ice cream with caramel biscuit pieces and a marshmallow swirl. They're calling it Caramel Cafe. Created to mark World Coffee Day on October 1st. You can get it for £5.50 in stores. I don't know if that means maybe it's not in the US. I hope so, because I'd like to try this. They're saying it makes the perfect affogato, which is, I didn't realize this, but it's when you pour a hot espresso over ice cream, which I had one of those in Sweden at an Italian restaurant, and it was unbelievably good. No, it was Denmark. And then I tried it at home, and it was still pretty good. But I'd like to do it with this. That would be really good. So there you have that. We also made ice cream. When we had apple pie this weekend, Aaron and Ellery made not just the apple pie from scratch, but vanilla ice cream that was really good from scratch. So it was a nice little treat on cheat day Saturday for me.
Now, Matt, are you a chocolate? I mean, not chocolate. Are you a coffee ice cream guy?
I am. I think that's probably my favorite flavor of ice cream.
When do you eat it, though? I mean, that's the problem. I like the idea of coffee ice cream. I like the flavor of coffee ice cream. But never am I like, anytime I want ice cream, it's in the evening and I don't want coffee.
You know how people drink espresso after dinner sometimes?
Yeah, and crazy people.
I never would, because it's espresso and it would keep you awake. But in this case, coffee ice cream, I don't think there's really that much caffeine in there. So that's why it's perfect. Then you get the flavor of it. It's like having a decaf coffee, only it's ice cream.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think it's really good. I think it's good all the time.
Okay.
Not you, though. You don't like that. What do you like? Cookie dough or whatever, as much flavor as you can pack in there?
Yeah, is there like a ice cream supreme?
Yeah.
I do love a cookie dough. I love any sort of ice cream with like Oreo chunks in it or cookie dough chunks, anything like that.
Man, we are
30 to 45 milligrams of caffeine in a scoop of coffee ice cream.
Okay, that's not nothing. That's probably a fifth of what's in like a Starbucks coffee.
Uh-huh.
All right, good. Affogato, by the way, I had to look this one up. Comes from affogare, which is to drown in Italian. So that you'd be drowning your ice cream. All right, more product releases. This one's happening beginning today. We talked about it last week. Music is cut out. Sound machine should give me errors. Dr. Prager's, who launched this thing on QVC, we said it's finally available in stores. It's their crunchy veggie burgers. They're not crunchy because of the veggies like we kind of thought. They're crunchy because the outside is crispy, which I think just comes from deep frying. I think it has some sort of soybean or some oil.
Which they already do, right? Aren't most of their...
Yeah, I think they're fried. I'm pretty sure the outside is fried. These seem extra crispy. I'm guessing they're extra fried. I don't really know. They say they're still like the healthy ones. They're still the veggie kind of burgers, not the trying to be like Beyond style.
I'm going to show these.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
They look like tater tot burgers.
Yeah. Well, one of them is based on sweet potato, so it probably is not that different from that. But that is my concern. How much... I didn't look at the fat content. I did pull up the ingredients earlier in the stuff. Has the same ingredients basically as the normal Dr. Prager's burgers do.
Lost you.
Oh, you lost me?
On Instagram. You're back.
All right. So 7 grams of fat per burger. And that's really not that much. Like, you're going to get a little bit of that from the vegetables and stuff anyway. So, that's not awful. It doesn't sound like a deep fried burger to me. Still don't have me on Instagram, Doug?
You're kind of cutting in and out on Instagram. Might be me. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna show these. Yeah, I'm switching over. I'm gonna show these on the screen here for anyone who's on Instagram. Go over to YouTube. YouTube.com/No Meat Athlete. That's a much better experience. But don't those look like tater tot burgers?
Yeah, they kind of do. But tater tots don't make you feel so good. If I had a whole burger of tater tots, I would, or a burger-sized batch of tater tots, I would not feel very good. So hopefully
that's so untrue, Matt. There's no way you're eating fewer tater tots than are the size of a patty.
Really? I feel like usually I'm about 5 is my limit, or else I will start feeling bad. So that's why I wouldn't get into them too much. Anyway, they also have a cauliflower burger. I haven't seen a picture of that one. Probably looks the same. Dale Stevens says she just bought the not crispy Prager burgers, and they are really good. Mostly veggie ingredients and not too much other stuff. I will look for this. Yeah, I used to think they weren't very good in the early days of my vegetarian veganism. And I wonder if I went back and tried them now, if I would think they were pretty good because they just taste like vegetables, and that can be a good thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey says the inside of these is probably soft. They're just outside breading, fry that, and then the inside's soft. Yeah, probably what's going on. But I would give these a try as long as they're not too pricey, and I don't really know if they would be or not. Anyway, they're out today. You can get them in the United States at Whole Foods, HEB. I don't know that one. Sprouts, ShopRite, and Publix. So that's good. I'd give that a try. All right, we have to do a little Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing. Do they have a couple name yet? Are they like
I don't know,
or something, or no? Okay.
Not sure.
Well, Heinz has gotten in on the action. It seems like we heard last week that Panera had jumped in on the Roman Empire thing. They made a quick Roman Empire menu. Well, Heinz seems to have done them one better. There was a viral tweet about Taylor Swift's choice of condiments at a Kansas City Chiefs football game. I doubt that was the Sunday night game. It was probably the week before that. Still very fast on the part of Heinz to quickly come up with their seemingly ranch sauce. So a tweet from the fan account of Taylor Swift, had a picture of her eating a piece of chicken with ketchup and seemingly ranch. That's what the quote was on the tweet. And then that went viral. 32 million views. People love that. So the phrase seemingly ranch caught on. And now Heinz has come up with a new condiment in less than 24 hours. So maybe this is the Sunday night game they're talking about. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, I saw a picture of it. It looks like ketchup mixed with ranch. It's kind of a light ketchup. This is the weird part for me. They're going to release more info on how to get it on their Instagram page. They chose 100 for the limited run by combining Swift's lucky number 13 and Kelce's jersey number 87. So only 100 bottles of this will exist, I guess, which is just really weird to me, of a condiment. Like,
yeah,
if you get your hands on one, are you just going to be so happy that you get to have this condiment one time? And
I mean, it's got to be going to be worth some money for at least a couple months.
Or do you keep the bottle unopened and resell it? Hopefully within 2 months.
Definitely.
I can't imagine.
If you get 1 out of 100 bottles of ketchup and seemingly ranch, you're not opening that.
What's the point of making it? Right? Who cares? I mean,
for hype, because we're talking about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that must be the benefit to them because they did it really quickly just so that people would talk about it. But
I gotta say, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a Swiftie.
Okay.
I am so over this. Like, it is all anyone is talking about. Yeah. And like, I'm just tired of it. I don't know. I'm just like, she's going to a football game. Like, what's the big deal? Like, it's not that big a deal. Although I am learning, I had no idea that new girlfriends could fly with the team on the team plane and everything.
Maybe they get a +1 on that plane.
I guess so. And, she's kind of getting the royal treatment, or I don't know, maybe all girlfriends get that, but, I feel like I'm learning a bit about what it's like to date a football player, but, I don't know. I just like everyone is, I saw there's this good photo of her, holding up a red drink.
Yeah.
And there's people trying to figure out what the red drink is. And some brands are claiming it's theirs and conflicting brands and stuff. So, I mean, like, just let the woman enjoy a football game.
You think she minds? I don't think she minds. I think
don't think
this
she
is
minds?
Crazy. I don't know, but this is like she's, I mean, more than the queen or something, right? Like, has anyone ever been this obsessed over, like, that they care about a drink they have or the sauce they put on their chicken at the football game?
I don't know. It's so
and then
weird.
a company goes and makes it. It's so strange. Yeah, like,
and the thing is, she's not doing anything that crazy, right? I mean, it's a famous person going to sitting in a box at a football game, right? Like, that happens all the time. People do it all the time. I don't quite get what all the hype's about. And I was here for it last week. I'm over it this week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine this sort of attention would keep up and people wouldn't get sick of this. I don't really know. They were on the Sunday night game. I didn't watch it, but I don't even know who won. Apparently, NBC promoted the matchup using Swift's "Welcome to New York" song because they were playing the Jets. Sportsbooks offered Swift-themed prop stars bets. I don't know what that means. And Mike Tirico, the play-by-play guy, did his best to restrain himself from mentioning her name after every play. So I guess that means he mentioned her a lot. I mean, what's there to say? about that. I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm
It's
telling you,
funny.
I think it's an NFL. I think there's a conspiracy behind this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it hasn't
as
hurt.
Steven says, Swifties will pay big money, and the ticket prices went through the roof, from what I understand, when she was rumored to come to the game. But Dale Stevens agrees with me. She's over it too. Let the girl have some privacy. Mr. Jeffrey, I like this. This is funny. Pretty soon they're going to come out with Budweiser or Taylor's version. That's funny.
Is Taylor's version a thing that I don't get?
Oh,
is that some sort of song reference or something?
Where have you been, man?
I don't know anything about this stuff. I don't have any source of stream of information that would give me this stuff. Where do you?
Okay.
What is that?
So she sold the rights to her music long ago.
Okay.
And got taken advantage of, in doing so. She did it very young.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of years ago, she, like, that time period of her old music or expired or whatever, somehow the contract ended. She doesn't gain rights to any of those old masters or any of that old music, but she's now gone and re-recorded. She's re-recording all of her albums, tailored versions, so that she'll own that.
So the songs themselves are her property, but not those recordings.
Not those recordings, right? So she's re-recording all the albums. So now you have all the album names, but then there's the Taylor's version.
Huh.
And,
interesting.
Yeah.
Nice way to make some extra money.
Is also, a huge thing where she's standing up for artists and all this stuff. And
I think that could be a conspiracy. I think maybe the person who got the original money is somebody else, her family or something, and then she just releases all the albums, sells them all again, and gets a whole lot more money for it.
No, it's some vilified. I don't remember his name, but it's her former agent or something. I don't know. Anyway,
okay.
All
right. Back to the weather report. By the way, of course, that Heinz thing, just in case you got excited, not a vegan offering as far as I know. It's still ranch, so just thought I'd report on it. All right, can't get the music going, unfortunately. Maybe it'll chime in here. Nestle looks like the good guy here. They vowed to sell more nutritious products by 2030. Apparently, they're getting some flack. They're under pressure from consumers and watchdog groups to improve the nutritional content of their products by cutting salt, sugar, saturated fat, and artificial ingredients. I kind of wonder that, most of the products made by Nestle, we don't know they're made by Nestle unless you are like a food person who knows all the brands. But it just seems weird to me that this would be an important thing for a big company to say, we're going to make our foods healthier. Because people don't know that it's Nestle. So I just don't see how this would really be that helpful. I guess on an individual brand level, it'll still happen. So whatever their sub brand is, that will be known for making healthier stuff. I don't really know. But I'm glad they're doing this. But then one article below this on fooddive.com is Nestle's teaming up with Kellogg to turn, Frosted Flakes cereal and Eggo maple waffles into milk. They're making milks that are these things. So you don't need to get the cereal anymore because that might have you getting some tiny little bit of fiber or something. Now you just go right to the sugar and milk, skip the grain, and now you get them in a cup. So you can drink them, or in a bottle. So you can drink them on the go. You can drink more of them. And this is the opposite of what they're going to be trying to do, I guess.
I am just so thrilled to be able to rediscover the joys of my favorite childhood breakfast in a whole new and deliciously drinkable way, Matt. I'm just so excited about it.
Well, adults, awesome. I guess adults don't take the time to eat those cereals anymore. It would be considered juvenile. But if you have the bottle with that, then it's an adult behavior.
So
that's the idea.
This might be what ends up making me leave the vegan diet,
Yeah,
I've just been missing this the whole time. No, I think this is it's so gross. Who's really gonna do this? It's gonna be kids who don't need the extra sugar,
right? And, you're right. It is gonna be kids.
I think this is gross, and it's also, I don't know, it's silly. They're just looking for SKUs at this point,
right? Hopefully they only make 100 of each one.
Yeah.
Okay, in a little bit healthier news, Beyond Steak has made its UK debut at their annual casual dining show. What I didn't realize is that they were named one of the best inventions of 2022 by Time Magazine. Not Beyond Meat as a whole, but Beyond Steak. I still think I haven't tasted it yet. I may have had it and forgotten it, but I think I haven't. Has the fibrous texture of steak while being definitely healthier, I think, says Time Magazine. That's interesting that they would make that statement. but according to some of the traditional metrics like saturated fat, yes, it is. The other thing I didn't know, or that's interesting, first of all, 2/3 of households in the US that try it plan to repurchase it. So if it's all the vegan houses who are trying it, then that's not really that surprising, but still, I guess kind of a good thing, because I don't think you could say that about a lot of the plant-based meats, because a lot of them aren't that good. But maybe they're talking about the flexitarian types too, who will try this and then want to rebuy it. So I don't know. That's kind of cool. At least in the UK, I don't know about here. The Beyond Burger chicken style is also coming. That's also being launched for restaurateurs. So that is restaurant right now, not home. Described as incredibly tender and juicy with crispy breading. I'd kind of like to try that. I mean, I'm sure it tastes like every other Impossible Nugget or whatever, but I don't know. I like chicken sandwiches. That'd be good.
I think they already have one.
They have a Beyond one?
I think so.
Man, I need to give it.
I like the Beyond steak. I think it's very good. Oddly though, right. I never buy it. I mean, I've gotten it maybe 2 or 3 times.
You didn't repurchase.
I did. Well, I did repurchase maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's not. It hasn't become something that we buy very often. But I thought it was very good.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. I'd try that for sure. Yes, there is Beyond Burger chicken style. That's already out, and they're breaded patties. I guess you fry them and heat them up, and there you go. So I'll give that a try too one day. All right, a little bit more serious news, just slightly more serious. There's a new study by University of South Australia. They published it in Obesity Society's research journal, Obesity. And what they did there was had 2 groups go on energy-restricted diets to try to lose weight. One of them had California almonds as the snack, and one of them had carbohydrate-rich snacks. This is from Veg News, by the way. This where I learned about this. Both groups lost weight. Both groups lost an average of 15.4 pounds. I think it was in a 9-month period. And so both did. So the nuts don't hurt your weight loss efforts is the first thing we can kind of determine from this, or conclude from this. The other thing is that the nuts helped with some sort of cardiometabolic indicator. I don't know exactly what that is right in front of me here. Let's see. In certain highly atherogenic lipoprotein subfractions, they had statistically significant changes indicating potential long-term improvements in cardiometabolic health. So that's good, I guess. It means you can eat almonds for your snack. It doesn't mean that almonds help you with weight loss. It just means if you like them, you can eat them. You don't have to worry about them just because they're high in calories or high in fat or whatever. Veg News didn't mention this, but when they said it, they ate Californian almonds, I had that tipped me off that there might be something going on here. So I dug deeper, and sure enough, you go to University of South Australia, and they transparency forward, or in the spirit of transparency, tell you that this study was funded by the Almond Board of California, which doesn't mean it was a bad study. It just means you probably wouldn't have heard about it if it went the other way, or if it was bad, or if the almonds made you not lose weight as much as the other diet. Veg News won't tell you that, though. They'll bury that part because it supports a plant-based diet, so therefore we don't need to disclose anything like that. I love Veg News, though. Still
okay.
Okay, and that's it. That is our weather report. There you go.
That was a good weather report, Matt. I enjoyed that very much.
Thank you. I enjoyed putting it together this morning.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Any comments or things to get to before we jump into our other article, which actually is from Veg News. And again, I do like Veg News. We use their stuff a lot. I wish they would. Whatever. I've said this all the time. They're committed to spreading the plant-based movement. They're not committed to full, perfect, good science. So whatever. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Dunn says that Scooter Braun is the owner of Taylor's stolen version.
Okay. Don't know that guy. He's probably all right, though. Probably doing all right. I mean, as far as his money supply goes, bank account.
Yeah, I think he's probably doing just fine.
Right. But. Okay. All right, let's jump into the Veg News article then, which I have somehow managed to close on my computer. I'm glad they did this article because I have been someone who I hear about this all the time recently, past 3 months, and I just kind of have ignored it. But in the back of my mind said, okay, maybe seed oils are bad. Their headline is, "What's the deal with all the seed oil conspiracies?" And then it says, "Seed oils have become the enemy of the internet. Here's what the experts have to say on whether they're harming our health." So this, have you caught wind of this, Doug, that people are afraid of seed oils now?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it really is all over the internet right now. All over the carnivore diet. People are all into it.
Right. I didn't realize that this was such a politically charged thing. So I Googled it today because I wanted to learn more. The Veg News article does give some interesting information, enough to get you started. And then I had to dig deeper to find more. Went to Healthline's article on it. And then I read some other article about smoke points and omega-3s and 6s and all these other things. Actually found a useful chart, which I will share in a minute in the chat. So, but then it said, like, one of the headlines I think was Rolling Stone, and it said, "Why is the right so obsessed with seed oils?" And that, then I just started to just not be so interested. I don't want to get into like a political thing, or I lose interest in researching it when it goes political. But anyway,
but it's not. I mean, well, I don't know about it. I don't know anything about it being political. Actually, that's kind of a surprise to me. But even like, have you heard of Flav City? Bobby, what's his name?
Bobby Flay?
No, Bobby Parrish.
Nope.
He's a huge TikTok, Instagram guy. But yeah, just like really, really big. And he's big on no seed oils and stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. And he's not a carnivore guy.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's attempt to sort of, get to the bottom, educate ourselves, educate listeners, because I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it. But it's gaining traction. The carnivore people are the ones who are pushing it for sure. So right there, you get a sense for what's going on, right? If you're a pro carnivore person, you're also an anti-vegan person. That means one of the things you can vilify is these things because they're all from plant foods. So kind of right away, we can call those bad and assume that the carnivore people will do that. There's one person named Carnivore Aurelius. I don't know his name or her name, but they compare a bottle of canola oil to bullets and arrows. And they said, seed oils are hidden everywhere and linked to almost every chronic disease. Before seed oils, less than 10% of people were obese and cardiovascular disease was non-existent. And that is like sort of true. Veg News says that it is not true. They say it's important to suggest research suggests it's not true. Even some ancient Egyptian mummies show evidence of cardiovascular disease. So not true that there was non-existent. But the seed oils apparently didn't really start until the 20th century. That's when the technology started allowing them to be pressed from the seeds. And that's when everyone's health started getting really bad. So there's definitely an association. It happened at the same time. But like, it's also easy to say, well, a lot of things changed at that point. A lot of food happened and ultra-processed food and all that stuff just took off in the 20th century. And so did everyone getting unhealthy. So it's very hard for me to say, like, that's enough to say, let's blame the seed oils, because we could blame a whole lot of other things too. And then it's which one is really the problem. The problems with them, apparently, really high omega-6 content. And that's true. You want typically a relatively low omega-6 to omega-3 content in your oils. You don't want too many omega-6s compared to your omega-3s. I guess people like ancestors ate basically a 1-to-1 ratio in their diet of 6s to 3s, whereas most people in Western societies eat, I don't know, 20-to-1 or much, much bigger. And oils are a big part of the problem for that. They have tons of omega-6s in them and not so many omega-3s. Good reason to take Complement Essential, which will pack in those omega-3s. I don't know how many omega-6s Complement has, or if we've ever thought about that, but I'm guessing not really very many.
We do. It's on the.
Oh, that's on there as well, on the label.
On the label, yeah.
Okay, never looked at that. Anyway, there's other stuff. There's oxidation. These polyunsaturated fats, which a lot of these are, or maybe they're very high in them. They oxidize easily, and that's not a great thing. They oxidize in your body and while you're cooking with them. So, I mean, I don't know. Oil's complicated. Fats are a complicated thing. And I don't know where to like come out on this. The thing they have going for them, and this is, I'll put the chart here that I looked up and actually was very helpful, assuming the numbers are legit, and I think they are. These seed oils have really high smoke points, and that's why people tend to use them. Is that these things compared to like extra virgin olive oil will stay stable in the saute pan and therefore not oxidize right there in the pan and become really bad for you. So that's the good thing. But there are ways around that. For example, I saw at the bottom of that chart I just shared, extra light olive oil, which might be the same one as extra light tasting olive oil. I see that in the stores a lot. That has a nice high smoke point, has 9-to-1 ratio of 6s to 3s, which is really not very high compared to most. Like some of these things have 46-to-1 or 83-to-1. So 9-to-1 is not bad.
9-to-1? Okay.
Yeah, that's the same as extra virgin olive oil. Only much, much higher smoke point than extra virgin olive oil. So recently, in the past 3 months, Doug, in my cooking, I've been buying just regular olive oil, not extra light, but olive oil, not extra virgin, because I wanted to have a higher smoke point. Because Walter Longo convinced me that, not me, but in his book, that would be a better choice for cooking, and then use the extra virgin stuff for salads and drizzlings and things that aren't involving cooking. So I'm pretty happy with that choice. I think the extra light might be the way to go based on this chart. But where do we come out on seed oils? I mean, I don't know. I use them now and then. I have a bottle of peanut oil that I will use for like Mexican type dishes. I use sesame oil every now and then in stir fries or on stir fries. I usually don't heat that one. But there are a bunch more. Most of it's in ultra processed food that you would buy. So that's like the big lesson here is, oh, by the way, grapeseed oil, 676-to-1, omega-6s to 3s, which is weird because that's one of those people say that's the good high smoke point oil to use. And I've believed that for a long time. So that's a shockingly high number. Anyway.
Yeah. I've never almost never cook with a seed oil at home. But of course, I'm getting it all the time, eating out with.
Yeah. And soybean oil, by the way, included, that's a seed oil. So that's probably the one people are getting the most. Vegetable oil as well, of course, that also is.
So, like I'm not cooking with it at home, but I'm sure I'm getting it all the time, regularly, in any sort of processed foods or eating out. And, like the way I look at it is probably the way I look at just about everything when it comes to food is not too much of it, you're probably fine. Like, I don't think it's, I don't think that it should be vilified in the way that it is in some of the social media influencers but at the same time, like, I don't want to be downing it. Like I don't want to be seeking it out like some people do olive oil.
Right. So the articles that I saw, including Veg News, pointed out that it may not be that the seed oils are the problem, but the foods that they are in are problematic. These ultra processed foods that you buy in stores and in packages and all that. So I think what's going to happen, of course, what probably already is happening, is companies are going to start making that exact same thing, and then they'll advertise it on it really large that it's made with olive oil or without seed oil or whatever. And then people say, okay, now this is a healthy food because it doesn't have this one thing that I have decided is the culprit of people's unhealth or poor health. But then it's just another version of the processed food. So I think that's the important thing.
Still has all the
right. So it's just, the only way you can be healthy to me is, for the most part, avoid those foods. You can eat them sometimes, but they're just not a good choice. And it's not because of any one thing. It's just all that stuff, which was kind of the point from the beginning here, that yes, the seed oils came about in the 20th century, but so did a whole lot of other things. So they probably are a problem, like the rest of the stuff that is just not really natural, or that's highly processed, as boring as that is. Harvard, by the way, has debunked the seed oil risks. They didn't really, to me, do an adequate job of debunking, but they say that their scientists have debunked it. They didn't really tell you why. They just, their adjunct associate professor at the T.H. Chan School of Public Health at Harvard came out and said that it's okay, that they're not the problem. That it is the foods that they're in that is the problem. So no data or anything, but maybe they did some studying of it and found out that the oils themselves are okay, but the foods are the problem. I don't really know, but to me, like none of this conclusion is mind blowing. We've known forever that oil is not really like a health food,
right?
With the possible exception of extra virgin olive oil, which is definitely linked to longevity in some of these Mediterranean countries, especially. But the oils, they don't typically have a lot of micronutrients in them. And if they're not giving you a bunch of omega-3s because they have so much omega-6s, then they're not doing much good there either. And if there's the oxidation factor, like I said, we know that oils aren't really that healthy, but we know that olive oil is kind of an exception for some reasons, partly because it has the solids in it, which come from the fruit, which I guess you don't get so much out of a seed. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's the same conclusion, right? Oil's not that healthy. Olive oil is pretty healthy, an exception among them, perhaps, especially extra virgin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then this crazy thing, I didn't know about this.
I like this last one.
Yeah, I had never heard this, or maybe I had and blocked it out because it sounds just vaguely familiar. The last bit of the Veg News article says, and please keep wearing sunscreen because there's a part of the conversation. It's on social media, and the idea is that avoiding these seed oils is an effective substitute for sunscreen. A number of TikTok posts indicate that. At least one medical dermatologist has come out and said they're false. You can't. Those are not valid claims. So you need to still wear sunscreen. Not eating seed oil does not protect you from skin.
What if it did, though? I mean, what if that was the problem? If you just avoided seed oils, it'd be fine.
It'd be pretty amazing.
I feel like this would be. I feel like this would be one of those times that like you've been following Flave City like religiously for 6 months or whatever, all winter long, and you go to the beach, you're like, I don't need sunscreen, and then like 6 hours later you're just burnt to crisp and your skin's peeling off and you're like, no.
Yeah, I actually thought about that. I want like other people who care so much about their identity and this thing that like I'm part of this and I believe this stuff that's enough for them to say, well, I'm not worried about skin cancer stuff that has been demonstrated in science for all these years. I'm just going to start not wearing sunscreen, and as long as I'm not getting crazy burns, which maybe they are, who knows? But as long as I'm not, then I'm fine. And then they're going to go the next 25 years without sunscreen and lots of sun, and then they're going to get cancer. I don't know. Which maybe not true. I'm not trying to say that all these little factions who come up with their own idea, like that can be a good thing, right? It's good to have theories and stuff. Sure. And that's how, a lot of times progress gets made that way rather than from the top down. So I'm not at all against this and people believing strongly in an idea. Probably veganism started that way, or plant-based diet started that way. But I don't know. I just would be scared to bank on it in that kind of way. And I don't think they're that wrong. I mean, I think it's, like I said, for different reasons. I kind of think it's logical to mostly avoid these seed oils. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there you have it. What do we have? I saw Garuda Legends. Garuda Legend says seed oils and vegetable oils are horrible. Fruit oils like cold pressed olive oil is good. Yeah, perhaps. I don't know if they're horrible or not, but I think the fruit oils are better. Avocado oil, that counts as is that a fruit oil or is that a seed oil? Where's it come from? The flesh or that big pit? Flesh, I think. Yeah, pressed from the flesh. So therefore not a seed oil. Same people who like seed oils or dislike seed oils like avocado oil. I know that for high temperature stuff. So that's why.
Do you ever cook with avocado oil?
No, I never do. But I don't really see a good reason not to. Let's see if it's on this list here. Yeah, it's on the list. It has the highest smoke point of any oils on the list, 520 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's good. 12-to-1 omega-6s to 3s. That's not bad. Not quite as good as olive oil, but not bad. 70% monounsaturated. That's good. 68% from omega-9s. That's good. And also high in vitamin E, which I guess is good. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, based on that handful of numbers, avocado oil would be a good choice.
Cool.
Alrighty. Then that's it. That's all we got. Anything else? Anything else to chat about or report on or anything before we're back tomorrow?
Nope. I'm going to go back into deep diving into Taylor Swift's Love Life. And I'll see you tomorrow.
How are the Taylor versions? I need to know. Are they better than the originals or are they missing that raw, like, angst and stuff that came from someone coming up who hadn't made it yet?
I think they're better.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe. I think that they're slightly changed. Like some of them, she's updated some of the lyrics a little bit, but not many. And I don't know. I mean, she obviously has a different voice. Like she's grown up since her early days. But
Mean? Did you do Mean, where she said she's one day going to be famous and make it? Did she update that one and make it like I already did?
I think she started from the beginning, so probably.
Did she change the lyrics though?
Oh, I don't know.
To reflect that she already made it. I think she already had made it actually by the time that song came out.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, well, I'm going to try to catch up on this Golden Bachelor. I'm going to find a way to get it. Someone said I can watch it on the website. Emery thinks ABC Bachelor, or is that NBC? Probably just Google the name of the show instead of the network. Okay, I'm going to check it out. It's on ABC. I'm going to look at it and see.
All right.
I will
report back tomorrow.
I don't know about tomorrow, but I'll try to do it too. Okay, have a good Tuesday, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes. All right, everyone. See ya.
Goodbye.